I really needed the money, and the job posting seemed perfect. High pay, night shift, and all I had to do was watch security cameras at a remote storage facility. The manager seemed a bit weird, though. He handed me the keys and a logbook with a strange instruction. He said, "Just log any movement you see after midnight. If a camera reports movement but you don't see anything, don't ask questions. Just log it and move on." It was an odd rule, but the pay was too good to pass up. For the first week, it was exactly what I expected. Boring. I sat in a small, windowless office, staring at a bank of monitors showing empty, sterile hallways. The only excitement came from the occasional motion alert, usually just a moth fluttering past a lens or a shadow shifting. I'd log it, sip my coffee, and go back to watching nothing. It was easy money, and I started to feel like I'd hit the jackpot. Then came the alerts for Camera 7. It monitored a sealed-off back corridor, a place no one was supposed to be. The motion sensor kept tripping, but every time I looked, the hallway was completely empty. I'd log it like the manager said, but it was unnerving. A few nights later, I noticed something else. The angle of Camera 7 was changing, just slightly, on its own. It would tilt down a few degrees, then slowly drift back up. I convinced myself it was a loose mount, just a technical glitch. One night, while staring at the monitor for Camera 7, I saw it. Just for a split second, at the very edge of the frame, a sliver of something pale. It looked like a shoulder, human-like, but unnaturally white. I blinked, and it was gone. I rewound the footage, playing it back frame by frame. Nothing. It was there, then it wasn't. My heart started pounding. I told myself I was just tired, seeing things in the low-res feed. But the feeling of being watched began to creep in. The following night, everything went haywire. At exactly 3:03 a.m., all the monitors went black simultaneously. I jumped out of my seat, my heart in my throat. After a few seconds of terrifying silence, one screen flickered back to life, Camera 7. But it wasn't in color anymore. The feed was grainy, black, and white. And at the far end of the long hallway, a figure was standing there. It was tall, impossibly thin, with limbs that seemed too long for its body. It was just a silhouette, but it was leaning its head to one side, as if studying the camera. Then, it moved. But it didn't walk. The figure just got closer. It didn't change in size like something walking toward you would. It was as if space itself was warping, bringing this thing nearer without it taking a single step. It was halfway down the hall in an instant. Then it was right there, its distorted face filling the screen. Before I could even scream, the feed cut out completely. The monitor went black. I sat there, shaking, drenched in a cold sweat. When the other cameras came back online, the hallway was empty. I should have quit. I know I should have. But I needed the job. I forced myself to go back the next night, convincing myself it was a prank or a system malfunction. When I got to the office, there was a sticky note on my desk that wasn't there before. The handwriting was jagged and hurried. It said, "You missed it." My blood ran cold. That night, Camera 7 triggered again. But this time, the angle was completely different. It was pointed straight down at the floor. And on the screen, I saw a pair of bare feet. They were pale, dirty, and just inches from the lens. As I stared, frozen in horror, I felt a sudden drop in temperature in the room. A cold presence settled right behind my chair. I could feel it standing over me, breathing silently. All the cameras shut off at once. The room plunged into darkness. And then, a whisper, right in my ear. It wasn't a sound coming from the speakers. It was in the room with me. It was a dry, rasping voice, and it said my name. That was it. I didn't wait. I scrambled out of my chair, shoved the door open, and ran. I didn't stop running until I was in my car, speeding away from that place. I never went back, never collected my last paycheck. A few days later, morbid curiosity got the better of me. I looked up the company's job postings. The security guard position was gone. In its place was a new listing, camera replacement technician, night shift. The job description was simple, but the last image in the ad made me sick. It was a photo of the security office, my old desk. On the monitor, you could see the empty hallway from Camera 7. But in the monitor's reflection, you could see the person taking the photo. And standing right behind them, with a wide, horrifying smile, was the tall, thin figure from the camera. They hadn't just been watching the cameras, They were watching the watcher.